We can speak to the former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, who's joining us now live. Naftali Bennett, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today. What are the next steps for the Israeli military in terms of dealing with Hamas?
We set a goal of eradicating Hamas. The first step until now was to fend off and fight all the terrorists that are still in Israel and kill them. Kill as many Hamas terrorists as possible and protect our people. As we speak right now, there are a lot of forces, special forces, fighting those Hamas Nazis in southern towns, but it seems that we're on top of things right now. The next step is to go on the offensive and to eradicate this Nazi-type Hamas. In my life, I've never used the term Nazi for anything but the original Nazis. This is the first time I'm using it because it's the exact same ideology of annihilating Jews just because they're Jews. We are talking about monsters who rape, sever parts of bodies, abduct 85-year-old women and 2-month-old babies. This is not an enemy. This is a monster, and we're going to treat it as such.
And we've just heard from a woman whose entire family have been taken. While pursuing Hamas, how is the IDF going to make sure that civilians, ordinary Palestinians, are not caught up in the violence?
The responsibility for all the Israelis in captivity lies with Hamas. I can tell you right now that Hamas, Nazi Hamas, is soon to feel the full wrath of the Israeli people, because we're a nation of lions. Yes, we took a huge hit. I want to show you the Kedem family, this family, the father Jonathan, the mother Tamar, the girls Shachar, Arbel, and the little baby Omer. This is just one family that was totally wiped out, murdered from point blank among dozens and dozens of families that are wiped off of earth by these monsters. But at the same time, I want to tell you that Israel and the Jewish people, we're a nation of lions. We're up, and I can tell you that in all military units, reservists, I fought for many years in the commando units of IDF. I was defense minister, prime minister. I can tell you, we're at 150% enlistment rate. Every Israeli wants to go fight and hit and kill those terrorists. We're going to hit back like you've never seen before.
And Mr. Bennett, what responsibility do you think that the Israeli army now have on making sure that other families aren't torn apart by this, other innocents aren't lost in this? And I'm speaking specifically about the Palestinians in Gaza.
Well, the Palestinian, IDF does not target civilians ever. We're not like our Nazi enemy. We will never target civilians deliberately. What we do is when there's a building or any Hamas related infrastructure, we tell the people, get out of there and we're going to destroy it. We hunt down the Hamas. If Hamas decides to murder its own people by using them as human shields, then Hamas will be responsible for murdering those Palestinians.
And what about those Palestinians in hospital who are on life support, and babies and incubators whose life support and incubator will have to be turned off because the Israelis have cut the power to Gaza?
Are you seriously keep on asking me about Palestinian civilians? What's wrong with you? Have you not seen what happened? We're fighting Nazis. We don't target them. Now, the world can come and bring them anything they want. If you want to bring them electricity, I'm not going to feed electricity or water to my enemies. If anyone else wants, that's fine. We're not responsible for them.
This is the point.
But you
this
keep
is the
on.
point.
I want to tell you. No. Listen. You listen to me right now. I've heard you enough.
No, I understand. We're trying to have a conversation here. Listen, this is my program. This is my show. And I am asking the questions. You're raising your voice, and I've asked you, and we've already stopped, please, and let me finish. We've already distinguished between Hamas
I want to tell you, shame on you.
You're trying to speak over me.
We are not. Shame on you.
It's nothing about shame. We're trying to have a conversation about a very serious situation here, and you are refusing to address it.
Jump over immediately, and again, you
absolutely
use the
not.
Palestinian narrative.
You are incorrect.
They are responsible, because I can tell you that when the UK,
absolutely
when Great Britain was fighting the Nazis during World War II, no one asked what's going on in Dresden. It was the Nazis targeting London, and you targeted Dresden. So
listen,
shame on you if you go on with that false narrative.
We're not talking about that, and in hindsight, many people have listened. And in hindsight, many people have readdressed that kind of carpet bombing.
Babies. Oh, I see. Now you're Mr. Clean. Shame on you.
Absolutely not. And I'm not. Listen, Mr. Bennett, I am not in the military. I am a journalist asking you questions. Are you going to let me ask you a question, or you continue shouting at me? We've already distinguished between Hamas and the Palestinians. I'm asking you very directly,
what do you want to ask?
Is going to be done to make sure that those innocent people don't get killed, as innocent Jewish people were killed on Saturday?
Well, we're going to target Hamas, and we're telling Hamas that if you use anyone as your human shield, and you're going to shoot at us using human shields, that it's their responsibility. Listen, mister, if someone is shooting at your children and hiding behind a human shield, will you shoot back or not? I'm asking you a question. Someone's shooting at your children, but hiding behind civilians. What's the answer? What would you do?
Mr. Bennett, I'm not here to answer your questions. I've asked you your questions and you have not answered them directly.
I understand.
All right, we'll stop. We'll leave it there. Naftali Bennett.
Eradicate Hamas.